Welcome to the live one on VNet. I'm your host, Priya David Clemens. This is the show where we help managers manage their business, their careers, and even their personal lives from time to time. I am joined here in studio by David Hamilton, VNet editor.
Hi, Priya. I wanted to let our viewers know we're monitoring the live chat that you should see on the right-hand side of your screen. Feel free to log in with your favorite service, Google, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and we'll do our best to get some of the more interesting questions answered here on the show.
So today's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays, David joins me in studio as we talk about sales and marketing techniques. Today, I'm really excited that we're bringing on Geoffrey James, who's one of the most popular bloggers on VNet. He writes the blog, as many of you know, Sales Machine. Hi, Geoffrey.
Hi there.
So thanks for being with us. We're going to talk to Geoffrey today about a couple of his blog posts that he wrote that were back-to-back that were all about cold calls, which who likes to make cold calls? You feel like you're smarmy, you don't exactly enjoy them, or you end up getting rebuffed more often than you really make your way through to having much success. And Geoffrey's here today to tell us what you might be doing wrong and how to fix it. So let's get started. We have a lot to cover in our show today. Geoffrey, what made you first decide to start doing a post on, or a couple posts actually, on cold calls?
Well, it is a subject matter that a lot of salespeople are interested in. Not every sales environment has cold calling as a part of it, but many sales environments do. And it's very important to be able to talk to a brand new client right off the bat and be able to get into a reasonable conversation fairly quickly. And because it's a part of generating new business, it's a key part of most sales cycles. It's a key part of loading up the pipeline, which is, the deals that are in process. And it's a subject matter that a lot of salespeople really dislike doing. So it's a good subject matter to talk about, because anything I can do to make it easier on people is going to be appreciated.
Well, I'm really excited to dive into it, but actually I remember just in the nick of time, we wanted to get to a couple of big news stories that happened today. So let's go to that, and then we'll come back to cold calling in just a minute. And I know that you wanted to weigh in, Geoffrey, on a couple of these. One is that Microsoft has just acquired Skype, which you are joining us via. And
yes.
Skype is
soon to be brought to you by Microsoft.
Yeah, it's kind of gotten
just
to
like
be
our show itself.
A verb, hasn't it, for us? Instead of saying
Skype me in.
Right, Skype me in, right? It's kind of like Google me. Mm-hmm. So Geoffrey, what are you thinking about this acquisition?
I think it makes a lot of sense for Microsoft to make this kind of acquisition. They flirted around with the telecommunications business for many years. They used to put investments inside telecoms in Europe and in the United States, kind of trying to figure out a way to get into that aspect of things. This is a more direct way to do it. The main difficulty that Microsoft has is that it is not a company that does acquisitions particularly well. Most of its corporate acquisitions have not gone particularly well. And I think it's probably because Microsoft itself has a kind of a distinct culture. And it's kind of difficult for people from outside that culture who are acquired to adapt to it. And I've heard this a lot from people who have ended up being in companies that were acquired there.
Mm-hmm. It's not really a culture that's good at taking in startups and, letting them flourish the way they had prior to the acquisition.
No, it's you see, there's a certain dogmaticism that's connected with the company. You see it where it's still flogging the idea of putting Windows, which is a 1970s design operating system, on a handset. It's silly, but they keep on it because it tends to be a dogmatic company with dogmatic values. And that adapts poorly. Whereas you take a company like Cisco, has a fairly good track record of incorporating new companies. Not always successful, but mostly pretty successful. And they have a very different corporate culture, which is more cooperative and integrative, whereas Microsoft tends to be more top-down and dogmatic.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish.
I was just going to say, it sort of makes you wonder why Facebook wasn't able to close the deal with Skype then.
Well, that's probably a completely different issue.